cross. Unless you'd like to have your feet out wider, especially if you're taking care of your knees, that might feel good. All right, let's take a big breath up. Inhale and bring our hands back to touch Mother Earth. Inhale, sweeping up to the sky, maybe touching the thumbs together and hands coming back down. Closing your eyes. Letting go of any thoughts of your day. Bringing your awareness within your own body. Matching our movements to our breath. One more flowing seated mountain, and we'll move right onto our flexion, reaching our left hand down to the mat, right arm up. Breathe in, both arms go up, breathe out, tipping over to the other side. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, tipping over. Keeping our core strong, our pelvic floor strong. One more. And we'll add our twists on, bringing our left hand over to our right knee, opening up our wings, stretching across the chest and over to the other side. All on your own, just move with your breath. I do encourage you as much as you can to close your eyes, to check in with the sensations inside your body. Couple more side to side. Wonderful. Then we'll bring our hands to our knees, tip back, so tucking our tailbone under a little bit, and then opening up into a seated cow pose. Exhaling, tucking back into a seated cat. Inhale, open. Exhale, tuck. So on our inhale, we can relax our sit bones, our pelvic floor. On our exhale, perhaps a little engagement. Inhale, open and relaxing. Exhaling, a little engagement. One more cat. One more cow. And then we'll take our left hand over to our right knee, our right arm up, and our left shoulder towards our left knee. You can look up underneath your elbow if that feels good. Breathe. Releasing any feelings of competition with others, with ourselves. Let's come up and do the other side, sweeping the right hand across to the knee, lifting up and tipping towards the knee with the shoulder. If it feels good, looking under our elbow. Amazing. Let's come up. Bring our hands to our shoulders and do some circles. So some small circles with our elbows, lifting up out of our seat and then making them a little bit bigger. We'll hold them at shoulder height and tuck them towards each other and our chin as well. Inhale, open. Exhale, tuck. Few more. Great job. On this next one, let's bring our elbows in front so they don't quite touch. Then we'll bring them up. Think about the core still strong, and down and back. Bring them around, up and down and back. All on your own. Couple more. Last one. All right, making our way to all fours. Some space between our fingers. You could, of course, have fists for wrists. Some space between our knees. And we'll open up our right arm. And then sweep all the way through. So we're starting with a flowing puppy pose, reaching up and then sweeping through. Modifying if you need to. using your arm, your left arm, bending and straightening that elbow to lift and lower you. But moving with your breath. And inhale to come up and exhale to sweep it through. And now we'll hold it all the way through, bringing the weight down onto our shoulder, not on our head. And if you want to, you can reach your left foot back. But that might not feel steady for you. And if it doesn't, then come back to knees under our hips. We'll slide that left foot back in, press into the left hand, come up, and start to go through the other side. Inhale, reach, exhale, sweep it through. All on your own. We have enough space between our knees to feel steady. We're warming up this right arm now, the right tricep and chest. Last one, sweep it all the way through. Can rest the weight on the shoulder, so not taking any in the head. The head can rest though. And if you want to, reaching your right foot back. Sliding in that right knee back in, pressing into the right hand, we'll come up and a child's pose. You can stay there with lots of space between your knees if that feels better, or resting your belly on your thighs. If you do have your belly on your thighs, feel free to give yourself a little massage and rock side to side. Amazing. Let's inhale to all fours position again and reach our right arm forward and our left foot back. And take the knee to elbow underneath, a little crunch. Inhale, open. Staying on this side, exhale, crunching. Checking in with that core, really noticing that contraction. And then noticing that length between the fingertips and the back heel. That's great for this side. We'll switch. Bring those hips back to face the floor, extension, and the crunch. It might feel better for you today just to hold this pose. You don't have to add your crunch on. Beautifully done. We'll go back to child's pose or downward facing dog. So do what feels best for you in this moment. If you're in child's pose, maybe massaging your forehead down on the mat. If we're in downward facing dog, a pedal of the heels to warm up our hamstrings, or just a shifting of the hips. Breathe. Remember that child's pose is somewhere you can go to and stay in as long as you'd like to today. Let's inhale, come back up to all fours or down to all fours. Exhale, shift forward into a kneeling plank. If you'd like to move up onto a full plank, you can, lifting up one foot, anchoring the toes, lifting the other knee, anchoring the toes. Or we can continue to stay in that kneeling plank. Let's shift our weight slightly forward. See how that feels on your wrists. Not so great. Shift it back. Stack the elbows on top of the wrists. And we'll slowly lower our belly to the mat. We'll come down, feel both of our hips connect down and open up into some cobras, breathing in and breathing out, coming back to the belly. We can take the weight out of the wrists, use just our back muscles, or start that little press down and rise up. Great job. We'll hold up into our Cobra Pose. You can have your hands cup hands or pressing down and look over our left shoulder. We'll bring it around, look over the opposite shoulder. Bringing our gaze back to the mat in front of us. We'll press our right foot down into the mat, lift our left leg, kneecap up off the mat, and just see how that feels to reach through your toes. And bringing that one down, let's do the other side. Anchor the top of the left foot, reach the right. Release the kneecap back down. Let's press up to a kneeling plank or a full plank and slide back to child's pose or downward dog. Whatever works for you. Gazing up between our hands from plank or down dog or child's pose, bringing the right foot and placing it up between the hands. We'll keep our left hand down on the mat and open up into a twist. So if you're in a full plank, you'll just reach your arm up, most likely instead of on your knee. Right back to our down dog or child's pose, and we'll do the other side. So an exhale into down dog, find the breath, and inhale into your lunge. Drop or keep the knee up, and then we add our little twist. We can close our eyes or keep them open. We'll untwist, frame our front foot, look at the front of our mat, and push to forward fold. Let the head hang. Let's grab our elbows, take a little rock side to side. Amazing. All right. We'll release the right hand down to the mat, bend our right knee, and reach our left arm up. Flowing side to side. So then bending the left knee, flowing through on your own. It's an inhale as you lift and exhale as you relax. Checking in with how our hips are feeling. A block under your hands can be really helpful. Last one. We'll move into bear pose, bending our knees, thighs go, or belly goes right onto our thighs, and reach our arms into bear. We're staying with the knees bent and opening up into albatross. Resting the belly. And then forward folding, breathing out. Again, our head being heavy. Feeling gravity drawing the upper body closer to the mat. Halfway lift, either hands to shins or they come back behind our knees. Notice a bend in our knees and then folding again. Let's flow between those two poses now, halfway up. Shoulders roll back and we go back to fold. Noticing how the feet are taking the weight. Is it all in our heels? Let's shift a little bit into the big toes, the middle toes, the pads of the feet. Last one. Lifting the heart up into chair pose. Relaxing our shoulders down. We'll open up our wings, keeping our heart lifted and twisting over towards your left or towards the windows. And then we'll untwist, tick-tock our feet together just to keep those knees safe. Keep the knees in line, twist the other way. We'll check in if we can keep that left knee from coming in front of our right. We'll untwist, bring our hands together, either at our heart or up. This is Thunderbolt Pose. You can stay here with your thunder at your top of your hands, or it can be shooting out the top of your head, whatever works. Hello, quadriceps. Nice to see you, feel you. Let's rise up, take a little stretch. Stretch the hip flexors and come to a regular mountain pose. All right, roll the shoulders. Plop on a fan if you'd like one. I'll probably turn this one on if you don't mind, Jane. I promise I'll give your fan back to you one day, Lori. Let me check. Well, last time I messed with the other one, it blew up.
Oh,
No,
no,
just, oh, off. I leave you in charge of that, Lori. I don't know. It might turn off. It might not. I just seem to have cut my head off on here. So I'm just going to move this back. There we go. All right. So carrying on with the rest of our class, let's come up towards the tops of your mats, some space between your feet. We'll reach up, breathe in, and bring our fingertips to our temples. So instead of doing our abs on our back, we'll try them standing today. There's a few options here. You can just lift your heel and twist towards that right knee and bring it down. So try a couple like that. Think more of the twist. And if you want to add the balance aspect, you lift the leg and twist and slowly try to place that foot on an exhale back down on the mat. It can be pretty challenging to close your eyes for standing abs, but you're welcome to give it a try. There's ever no judgment in yoga. Couple more. And then we'll come back to center. Let's bring our left foot back, turn towards our windows. We find some space between our feet. The toes turn out towards the top edges of our mats. Breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, bend our elbows, bend our knees. We start to move through our moonflowers, up and down. Check in with our knees. Being mindful today and tonight that our knees don't go in front of our toes. They're shifting more towards the middle of your feet. And then how about closing our eyes or enjoying the view of the rain? When you're ready, my friends, turn it into a sunflower, sweep to the mat. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hinge and sweep to down. Let your weekend go. Take this opportunity to commune with your breathing. One more flow through our sunflower. And we'll step it back up to the tops of our mat. Take a breath in, sweep up. Bring our hands back behind us in chest expansion. Unless you'd like to work on your reverse prayer, working on that this spring. I'm awakening it. Relax our shoulders down, and if you want to, we will do our fold. So there's a few more options for your wrists. If you wanted to, you don't have to hold on to your wrists at all. You could just reach for an imaginary ball, finding space across the chest. And let's release those hands, sweep it all the way up, breathe in, grab our right hand, tip over towards the left. If you would like to stretch your IT band tonight, we'll take that right foot all the way around to the other side of our left and tip over. Wonderful. and release all the way to the other side. Inhale, sweep up. So 5 beautiful breaths here. If the eyes close, remember to engage the core. We're activating our inner thighs and the press through the left heel. And let that go. Relax the shoulders. Grab a quick drink if you want to, or adjust anything you need to. And we'll go on to sun salutations. Maybe the sun will come out. Probably not. Probably not. Maybe tomorrow. I'm hopeful. Isabel gets home on Wednesday, so I think she's going to bring the sun home with her. Okay, come up to the tops of our mats. And we'll find some space between our feet, widen across our chests. And imagine and remind ourselves that mountain pose is a posture. It's a place, a foundation to come back to between each of your asana, each of your postures. Relax the shoulders, pressing into both feet, the big toe, the pinky toes, both of our heels, feeling maybe a bit of space on the arch of our foot, a softening of the knees, but an engagement of the quads. Check in with the pelvis. Feel it steady, strong, active. We'll draw our belly button into our spine. Breathe in, sweep up to the sky, an extended mountain. Breathe out right into your forward fold. Breathe out. Halfway up, breathe in. Fold again, exhale, let the head be heavy. Bending our knees, taking the left foot back. You can have your knee up or down. Inhale to your choice of lunge. And we're adding a twist on today, bringing the left hand down. Right hand either goes to your knee or reaches up for your twist. We go to a regular lunge again, and then push to child's pose or downward facing dog. This is a time to choose to rest or to flow forward, down. A little addition. Inhale into cobra or up dog and look over one shoulder and over to the other shoulder. Bring it back to center and slowly release. Pressing up and back to child's pose or down dog. Take a breath. Bring the right foot up between the hands. Left hand stays down. Choose your lunge on an inhale. On an exhale, we'll push to forward fold. Breathe out. Halfway lift, breathe in. And then relax it all again. Folding. Chair pose, inhaling, lifting up our heart center. Exhale, pressing into both of our feet, rising up through our mountain. Reset our mountain, breathe in, rise up. Breathe out, dive and fold. Halfway lift, core on steady. Fold again. Bending our knees, this time your right foot going back. Knee up or down, find your lunge, inhale. Check in with closing our eyes, add our twist. Right hand down, left hand up. Inhale back to your lunge. Exhale back to child's pose or maybe downward dog. Flowing or resting forward, halfway or all the way down. Our cobra with our little peak over our shoulder. Bring it back to center before we release back down. Up. Child's pose or down dog. Breathe. Left foot comes up between the hands. Right hand stays down. We reach our left arm up for our twist. Inhale. And exhale, stepping to forward fold. Halfway up. Folding, breathing out. Chair pose, breathing in, bending our knees, lifting our hearts. And we'll come up into our mountain. Let's inhale, sweep. Exhale, dive. Feel your spine lengthen. Halfway up or monkey pose, fold. Staking our left foot back. And then inhaling into your twisted lunge, right hand up. Exhaling to downward dog or child's pose. Pressing into both of our hands and our feet, holding or flowing forward. You can go halfway or all the way into our up dog or cobra with our little look. Little peek out of the grass. And we go back to your belly or go back to down dog. And we meet in down dog, taking a breath, reconnecting. Right foot up between the hands, left hand stays down. Inhale to your twist. Exhale to forward fold. Using that front foot as an anchor, halfway up. Exhale, relaxing. Now this time a little change all the way up, sweeping up to the sky. Exhale to chair. Back up. Exhaling to mountain. Let's do that again. Inhale, sweep. We dive into our fold. Halfway up. Folding, breathing out. Your right foot going back, right hand staying down, finding your twisted lunge. Our back heel is high. Take it back to down dog. We're choosing child's pose. Take a breath. Hold or flow. All on your own this time. You can add in our little peek over our shoulder. If you're taking care of the neck, you can take those out. Downward dog or child's pose. Checking in with another breath. Left hand rises up left foot. Right hand down, reach that left arm up for our twist, our back quad nice and strong. Forward fold, breathing out. Halfway up. Folding, breathing out. Sweeping all the way up. Exhale to chair. Back up we go. Exhale to mountain. All right, we're gonna have one more quick little flow through into that bear pose, and then we'll get on with the strength portion of our class. Let's sweep our arms up to the sky, clasp our hands together, and then reach again. Whilst we press into our feet and we check in with our pelvic floor. Staying here for about 10 breaths. Thinking about strengthening our pelvic floor, our core, and our connection to our breathing. Let's tip over to your left. Rise up again with our hands, tip over to the other side. Rising up again, bringing our hands back behind our head and opening up, a little back bend with some head support. And then we'll lengthen up again. Exhale, dive into your fold. Bending our right knee, right hand down, sweep the left arm up. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Other side. Twisting and releasing, folding. Bending our knees, placing our belly on our thighs, extending our arms into bear pose, bringing our ears maybe between our biceps. As the hips are reaching back, we're pressing into our entire feet. And see how that feels when we shift our weight into our heels, into more of the front of the foot, and then we open up into albatross. And fold, exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in, take it all in. Exhale, release all the air out. All the way up, breathe in. And we'll bring our hands to heart. Okay, let's do some strength portion. If you need a drink, go right ahead. Right foot coming up to the top of your mat and your left foot going back. So we're in our high lunge to start with. We'll sink down. If it feels better for you, you could drop down onto your back knee. Find the hips. Check in with those wonderful parts of your body. And we'll reach our arms up. And then open them up. A high open twist. Right hand comes forward, left hand goes back. If we close our eyes, we can rely on more of our core and our small muscle fibers to keep us here. We'll bring it back, hands forward. You're going to pass me a ball. Keeping our left hand there, reaching our right arm back, or tucking it on your low back instead of that reach if it doesn't feel nice. Bringing our hand back around. Dropping our left heel or releasing our left heel down to the mat. We open up into warrior two. Left hand back, right hand forward. Soften through the shoulders. Breathe. Just to twist it up a bit today, we'll take our gaze down our backhand toward the back of the room and turn that backhand up, reaching long through both of our fingers still. Turning the backhand down, lifting our chin around to the front again, straightening out our front leg, little bend. We'll reach forward. We're moving into triangle with an option to revolve our triangle today. So we can be here in triangle or revolved, basically taking your top hand down to where your bottom hand is and sweeping the other arm up or taking it back onto your low back. We'll unravel if we've got ourselves in a twisted triangle. Come back to our regular triangle. Looking down at our front foot, we'll frame our front foot, lift our back heel, step back to downward dog, and lift the left foot up into three-legged dog. Breathe. Make some rotations with that left heel or ankle up in the sky. Modification for this, down on all fours, 1 foot up. If it doesn't feel good to be in down dog like this. We'll be falling our triangle now, taking that left foot all the way back down to the mat, under the body, over to the other side of your mat. And then opening up into fallen triangle. A mod for this is a kneeling side plank. Do what feels right for you in the moment. Side planks can be pretty challenging. Back to downward dog. Sorry to keep you there so long. And now it's time to rest or flow. So you can flow through your vinyasa a couple times or take a rest. Whenever you're ready, we'll meet back in all fours or downward facing dog. Reaching our right hand across for our left calf muscle, or if you're on all fours, just reaching it across for the back of your thigh. We'll release that, look up between the hands, and bring your left foot up between the hands. Our back heel is high, and we rise up into our lunge, sinking down, checking in if it feels okay to close your eyes and connect to yourself. Don't mind the sound effects. Let's open up our wings. And our open twist first, left hand goes forward. And we're reaching through that left hand. It's pretty safe for your neck to keep it in line in your chest. If you want to look back, you can, but you don't have to. Inhale back to a regular lunge, either hands up or at our heart. Sink down a little more if you want, or come up a little bit if you're taking care of your back heel or your knee. We'll open up and we'll open up and towards the other side. Twisty. It's not even Tuesday. Okay. Bring it back. Take your right heel down to the mat. Open up into warrior two. Breathe. So your front right, no, that's your left foot is bending. And then we'll look down our backhand towards the back of the wall and turn that hand up. Picture a little chickadee resting on that finger. We'll turn the left palm back to the mat, draw our chin back around to the front of the room, open up, straightening out our left leg. Can reach forward. We start to feel already that stretched on the back of the leg. And we open up into triangle pose, bringing the left side of our body toward our left quadricep. Breathe. You can stay in your triangle. It's a wonderful place to be. Or revolve your triangle, bringing the right hand down to where the left hand is, reaching that left arm up, or bringing it back behind your back, or staying in regular triangle. And relax, bring it back to our regular triangle. Looking down at your amazing left toes, framing your toes with your hand, lift your back heel, push it back to down dog. And this time lifting the left foot up into three-legged dog. Doing some rotations with the foot. Right foot, yeah, right foot's up. Because your right foot was sore, so that's the one we wanted up, yeah. We go back to downward dog, and then that option for fallen triangle. Your right foot goes in front of your left foot over to the other side. Then you turn onto the outside of your right foot, inside of your left, and open up. Or drop your right knee down onto the mat and do a side plank instead. Wherever you are, and honor your body tonight. Yoga should never hurt. Bring it back to plank. You can hold your plank or down dog, or flow through our poses down. We'll meet in downward facing dog or dolphin pose to give your wrists a break. We're in dolphin. Still stretching the back of our legs, whichever one of these we've chosen. We're going to be moving into a pigeon pose down on the mat. So it might be better to come down to all fours for that, unless you want to sweep that left knee straight away up to the back of your left hand. So our left knee is out on an angle. And if you have a block, it can be nice to support your backside so that it keeps you from opening up like this on our pigeon. And then you can sink down onto your forearms. Our right kneecap still in connection with the mat, maybe the top of our foot. Breathe. Soften that area in your hip, in your glutes. We're in this position for another minute, unless you'd like to revolve your pigeon. So if you love pigeon, stay right where you are. If you want to do another twist, your left elbow comes across. We stack our palms and we move into a revolved pigeon pose. If that doesn't feel good, you're not alone. That happens. Okay? Not everything is going to feel good. If we are revolved, we'll unrevolve or come back to our regular pigeon pose. Press our hands down into the mat. We'll take our left cheek down onto the mat. We're going to sweep it right around to the other side. Bring that left leg back until we come onto the kneecap. Our right knee out towards the top right corner of our mat. Wonderful. We bring the hips to face more towards the front top corner of your mat, corners or edge. And then we come down into our pigeon pose. You could stack your fists to rest your forehead or put a block beneath your collarbone or your backside. Sink into it. Breathe into your hip. Feel some expansion across your lower back. And again, if you want to stay here, enjoy where you are, or you can work on revolving or work towards revolving. This time your right elbow goes across. Stack your palms. And we revolve our pigeon. If you're revolving, you'll come back to regular pigeon, and then let's press down into our mat. We'll sweep our feet around to the front into a single leg or a two-legged forward fold. So make your adjustments to feel comfortable. We'll turn our toes up towards the sky. And actually we'll strengthen up the knees as well and our quads. Pressing down into our mat into staff pose. Creating a little bit of space between our earlobe and our shoulder and lifting up our right leg. So we want a flexed right foot, turning our toes towards our forehead. This doesn't feel good, just flex your foot or not a flex, whatever works. Shaking and release. We'll do the other side, lift up. A small movement. Really great to strengthen our knees. And we'll bring it down. We're going to do plank, incline plank today. As a modification for incline plank, we have a few options. First, we'll do half of each. If you don't want to put any weight on your wrists, then you'll roll back onto your shoulders and do our bridge pose instead. And that looks like this. That's our bridge pose, up as high as you want. Or we'll do incline plank today. Let's slide our right foot in. Our fingertips are back behind us, pointing towards our backside, or out east to west if you want to. As we press into our right foot, we're lifting up into a half an incline plank. Trying to use the sole of that other foot or even just the heel of your left foot to connect to help you push up. Very active through the back of our body. Let's release it. So not too long. We'll switch sides. Before we lift up though, let's tuck our thumbs in, do some rotations for our wrists. One way and then the other. We'll bring our palms to face the floor, go up and down. Wonderful. Now let's bring them back behind us, either pointing towards our backside or out east to west. Press into our left foot and lift up into incline plank. If that sole of the right foot doesn't come down to the mat, you're not alone. You can try to just press into the heel instead. Feel the heart reaching up towards the ceiling. Slowly release down. Let's take a hold of one or both of your knees, roll back onto your mats. And then we'll draw both knees into our chest, take a rock side to side. Massage your lower back. Keeping our head down. Amazing. All right, let's extend our feet up towards the ceiling for legs up a wall. I love this pose. You can put your hands up as well if you'd like to. If that doesn't feel nice for you, we'll bend our knees. You could even slide a block, of course, underneath your low back if you wanted to have a little more of an inversion. Softening through our jaws. Feeling the muscles of our face relax. Noticing a connection of our back down onto the earth. And a good, strong connection through the lower part of our back. If at any time it feels better to have bent knees in this position, you can, or bringing your hands to your belly or your sides, whatever feels best for you. You can take a rest and then come back up. And we'll all bend our knees now, bring our hands to rest on our belly or on the lower part of our rib cage, and take some breaths in. Noticing our rib cage expanding and relaxing. If our feet haven't quite made it down to the floor yet, we'll bring those feet down onto the mat. Opening up our arms like wings or a T. Extending one leg long now, whichever leg you want. Actually, we should all do the same leg. Take your right leg and extend the right leg. And then we'll draw the left knee up and over and across the body for a spinal twist. Anchoring through our shoulder blades. Releasing the tension of the day. When it feels nice for you, we can switch to the other side for a twist, or if there's another twist you would prefer to do. Settle into the support of your back, of your shoulder blades. And finally, drawing ourselves back to center. We can take another rock side to side or add in another pose that maybe we're working on in our practice. Close our eyes and settle into our Shavasana. If you're ready to extend your legs long. One option for that, of course, could be to bend your knees instead of keeping them long. We let our toes just flop out to the sides if that works. Relax our inner thighs, relax our body into the mat. You are safe, you are secure. Make any modifications to suit your body in this moment. A few little quotes or sayings from Embers, not the restaurant. Ojibwe Meditations. It's a great book. Softening down, giving your body and your mind permission to rest today. And it's okay to come back to that relaxation, that permission to rest during your week. From our very first breath, we are in relationship. With that indrawn draft of air, we become joined to everything that ever was, is, and ever will be. When we take that exhalation for the first time, we forge that relationship by virtue of the act of living. Our breath commingles with all breath, and we are a part of everything. We are born into a state of relationship with our ceremonies and rituals, our guides to lead us deeper into that relationship with all things. Relationships never end. They just change. In believing that lies the freedom to carry compassion, empathy, love, kindness, and respect into and through whatever changes. And we are made more by that practice. Enjoy the next couple minutes of silence. Knowing that it's time to awaken again, but that space is always there inside you, that peaceful spot. We'll take a moment or two to open up our eyes, notice the light of the room, the sounds, and awaken our hands and our feet. If it feels nice for you, you can bend your knees and rock side to side. If that feels good, maybe our head moving. When you're ready, right over onto one side, take your time. And we'll make our way up to an easy seated position. Right back where we started. Let's breathe in, feeling rested. Breathe out, bringing hands to heart, feeling renewed. Inhaling, breathing in, restful, feeling, exhaling, renewed. One more time, a nice big breath. If it feels good, we can bow towards the earth, grateful for the gifts given. Namaste. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. So great and impressed by the turnout on an Easter Monday. I had no idea. I'll have to do one every Easter Monday. Bye, YouTube.